Reading from Canto 1, Chapter 19, text number 34. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जायमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवते उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। Oh, yes. This is chapter 19, named The Appearance of Shukdev Goswami, text 34. सान्निध्यात्ते महायोगिन् पातकानि महान्त्यपि सद्यो नश्यन्ति वै पुंसाम् विष्णोरिव सुरेतराः सान्निध्यात्ते महायोगिन् पातकानि महान्त्यपि सद्यो नश्यन्ति वै पुंसाम् विष्णोरिव सुरेतराः सान्निध्यात्ते महायोगिन् पातकानि महान्त्यपि सद्यो नश्यन्ति वै पुंसाम् विष्णोरिव सुरेतराः
नित्यात्ते महायोगिन्
सान्निध्यात्ते महायोगिन्
नश्यन्ति वै पुंसाम् नित्यात्ते महायोगी सद्यो वै पुंसाम्
विष्णोरिव सुरेतराः सान्निध्यात्ते महायोगिन् पातकानि महान्त्यपि सत्यो नश्यन्ति वै पुंसाम् विष्णोरिव सुरेतराः। Mataji, okay, we'll have word to word meaning. Sannidhyat, on account of the presence. Te, your. Mahayogin, O great mystic. Patakani, sins. Mahanti, invulnerable. Api, in spite of. Sadhyaha, immediately. Nashyanti, vanquished. Why, certainly. Pumsam, of a person. Vishnu, like the presence of the personality of Godhead. Iva, like Sura Itaraha, other than the demigods. Translation purport by His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Just as the atheist cannot remain in the presence of the personality of Godhead, so also the invulnerable sins of a man are immediately vanquished in your presence, O saint, O great mystic. Purport. There are two classes of human beings, namely the atheist and the devotee of the Lord. The devotee of the Lord, because of manifesting godly qualities, is called a demigod, whereas the atheist is called a demon. The demon cannot stand the presence of Vishnu, the personality of Godhead. The demons are always busy trying to vanquish the personality of Godhead, but factually, as soon as the personality of Godhead appears by either his transcendental name, form, attributes, pastimes, paraphernalia, or variegatedness, the demon is at once vanquished. It is said that a ghost cannot remain as soon as the holy name of the Lord is chanted. The great saints and devotees of the Lord are in the list of his paraphernalia, and thus, as soon as a saintly devotee is present, the ghostly sins are at once vanquished. That is the verdict of all Vedic literatures. One is recommended, therefore, to associate only with saintly devotees so that worldly demons and ghosts cannot exert their sinister influence. मम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरद्विषे नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। First of all, seek blessings of all the senior devotees. My senior in age, senior in advancement in spiritual life. So he's sitting here. Advaita Prabhu, Dinesh Prabhu, Prashant Prabhu. So I am just told as an order, I'm here to just glorify Srimad Bhagavatam, and that way you can purify myself. So here in this verse, here actually yesterday Dinesh Prabhu very nicely explained, this is the appearance of Shukdev Goswami. When Shukdev Goswami enters, so how everybody was before, how they were treating all the ladies and children, and then when they came into assembly, everyone got up, everyone paid respect, and they all ran away, seeing, oh, he's a great personality. So externally he was naked and things like that, but he was spiritually very advanced. And then Prabhuji explained very nicely how saintly persons they go to the householders and what is the reason and how householders should treat them, etc., etc. And here, yeah, so one part of it was they go to give that knowledge so that they become Krishna conscious. They take to Krishna consciousness and they purify themselves and perfect their life and go back home, back to Godhead. So that is the reason they go. So here it is there written that atheist cannot remain in the presence of the personality of Godhead. So also the invulnerable sins of a man are immediately vanquished in your presence, O saint, O great mystic. So there are two parts. One part is when Lord is present, then the demons or atheist cannot be present. We will discuss that part. And the second part is when the saintly devotee is present, then the invulnerable or the greatest of the sins, they cannot be present. So we will discuss these two parts today. So in the beginning, we see that the atheists, basically when they come in front of the Lord, either they have to get converted to theists or they have to be killed, vanquished. So that's what Lord does. There are so many examples. Atheist, I mean, there may be atheist who may not be devotee means may not be always from the beginning is devotee only. He can be a non-devotee, may be atheist, but by seeing the Lord, by coming in presence with the devotees, they may become devotees. Like that, many examples come in the scriptures. So first of all, Krishna also comes for that reason only. In Bhagavad Gita, if you see, that comes, what is it? Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So Krishna was there in the childhood with Whom? With his devotees. Yeah, Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda Mai, all the Vrajvasis. He was in Vrindavan. So nicely he was playing around and giving them pleasure. So Paritranaya Sadhuna. So first line he satisfied. After that he thought, oh, I have to go now. Second line I have to satisfy. Vinashaya Chadushkritam. So he went out of Vrindavan, went to Mathura, and then so many demons he killed. From the beginning only, even when he was in Vrindavan, he was killing demons like Putana, Abhyasur, Trinavarta, etc. etc. So one by one he was killing. And then he went to Mathura, there also he killed Kamsa, he killed all Jarasandha, etc. etc. all of them. So that is the reason Krishna comes, right? Krishna is killing the demons. So if you surrender unto me, you are saved. If you don't surrender, slayed. So yes. So that way we may think, oh, Krishna is such a tyrant. He's such a sadist. Oh, he says you surrender, then you are saved. You don't surrender, you're killed. So, but that is the nature, correct? No, that is how it is there, because we are all part and parcel of Krishna Himself. And when we actually serve Him, when we take shelter of Him, that is the time we can be happy. So when we don't take shelter of Him, we little bit go away. We want to do our own independent things. Then we only suffer. That is the reason Krishna says all those glories. Yesterday, one devotee was asking me that why Krishna says so many things in 7th chapter, 10th chapter. Oh, I am this, I am that. He's boasting himself. He's glorifying himself. He's in that way. He's very proud. So I was telling, yes, Krishna is telling that because because that is actually Krishna is humble. In 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita he is told very little. If you ask some devotee, then he will tell more. 18 chapters of just glories of Krishna only you can say. Or even if you see Bhagavatam, it is full of glories of Krishna told by devotees. So like that, Krishna tells only little bit of his glories in Bhagavad Gita. That is his humility. That is for what reason? To attract us to perform devotional service to Krishna. So by that, what happens? Krishna is happy. Oh, he's become my servant, so now I am happy. I am master. I am bossing over. No. Krishna is happy because the jiva, the part and parcel of Krishna, has come back to its original constitutional position by which he can be happy. By taking the names of Krishna, we are coming closer to Krishna, by which we become happy. Because we are coming in that direction that we become happy, Krishna is happy. So that is Krishna's what they call. That is the reason why Krishna says that yes, you surrender unto me. Not that he's like a police, he's like a tyrant, or he surrender, or he's like a terrorist or something like that. So Krishna is very loving. Yes. So yeah, those who were devotees, Krishna rewarded them, and not that everybody was a devotee by birth, but by coming in contact, by seeing Krishna, they became devotees. They became attracted to Krishna. Like for example, in Srimad Bhagavatam, if you see, there was a florist when Krishna was walking in Mathura, and florist saw, and they saw, oh, Krishna Balram has come. So he made a garland with that wonderful garland. He garland Krishna Balram and all the covered boys. He garlanded. So just by seeing Krishna, he got attracted. That way, he offered something, and then he gained a lot. But on the other hand, if you see, there was a washerman, and Krishna came himself. He asked, "Hey, we are covered boys. We are not dressed properly. We are in this city, so give us some dress, nice dress. We'll wear it." And then he said, this is whose clothes? Kamsa's clothes. How dare you ask? You know your position, and you are asking the king's clothes. You just know your position, and you just get lost. Like that, he told. So because of which, what happened? Krishna just he did like this. He slapped, or he with the hand only cut off the head. So that way, he was killed. So one may say that okay, that washerman was there, so he might not know Krishna is Supreme Lord, correct? So yes, that is there, but basically he was every human being actually is given that knowledge in one sense, in different ways. So you also add that knowledge. Actually, in Mathura, everyone knew Krishna is Supreme Lord. So after knowing that, also because of envy, he didn't agree. So because of that, Krishna slayed him. On the other hand, another incident, Kubja. She also came. She saw Krishna Balram. She was attracted, even materially. Oh, such a young, nice young man. So she Krishna asked Chandan. So she immediately applied. So because of that, again, she was such a ugly woman. Krishna just pulled her, and hunchback woman became very straight back, and then like a more beautiful than a Apsara also. So like that, she was very beautiful. So that way, they might not be devotees before, but just by coming in contact with Krishna, they may become devotees. They may get attracted to. So that way, they will be saved. Yes. Yeah, like that. If you see, one thing is that when somebody comes in contact with Krishna, then they will be atheist. If they're atheist, they'll be killed. If they're devotees, they'll be saved. So, and there is one verse that says, "Jahan Krishna, Tahan nahi." Krishna Surya Sama, Maya hai Andhakar, Jahan Krishna Tahan nahi, Mayar Adhikar. So Krishna is like sun, Maya is like darkness. Where there is Krishna, there is no Maya. So we should try to bring Krishna in forefront as much as possible in our life. In Purport, Prabhupada writes that Krishna means his name, his form, his qualities, paraphernalia, etc., etc. So he writes that ghosts, correct? No, even the ghosts cannot stay where the holy name of Krishna is chanted. So like that, here some of the incidents are there. I was just reading Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita. I'll just read out some instances where Prabhupada says about this. It's okay. I think I will read it out. You have to hear very attentively because I'm not projecting it there. If it connects, also we can. Casting will happen. Okay, I will read it out. A little later, the conversation turned to ghosts. So they were discussing something else about preaching, and then it turned to ghosts. And then now Prabhupada is telling. Prabhupada told about the haunted house of Loknath Mullik in Calcutta. Prabhupada had also rented a ghost house in Lucknow. I think Prabhuji is going to Lucknow very soon. Here. Okay. ISKCON Sajapur. Somebody else also already connected. Share screen in Zoom. Zoom, I'm not there. Mm. Fasting they already done. I cannot do this. Fine. So I'll read. Please hear attentively. Hearing is more important. Even if I project, they may get distracted seeing that. They may read ahead of me. So if you if you hear, that is more important. Yes, please hear. Prabhupada had also rented a ghost house in Lucknow. I am not afraid of ghosts, he said. I am ghost proof. In England, there are so many ghosts. They are generally evil and sometimes they even kill. They can be seen sometimes entering a latrine or sitting on a pillar. By offering pinda, one can free his forefathers from ghostly bodies. In Mayapur, where there were Mohammedan ghosts, but not anymore. By our chanting Hare Krishna, ghosts are driven away. And that's what Prabhupada says. By chanting Hare Krishna, ghosts will be driven away. They cannot stay in that place. On another instant, when Prabhupada went to London, there was John Lennon's house. They had a huge estate. There also ghosts were there. There he says, at one end of the estate lived a bricklayer and his wife in a small, neglected Georgian house. Hired by John to build a recording studio on the property, the bricklayer and had only recently moved to Tittenhurst. A tough, burly man, he never spoke to the devotees until one day he asked several of them if they believed in ghosts. Oh, yes, Kulshekar said. Prabhupada says there is ghost, there are ghosts. I don't believe, the bricklayer said. My wife is having dreams, but I don't believe in ghosts. The bricklayer's wife revealed that both she and her husband had been hearing something at night. Last night they had gone running to John Lennon's house, terrified, complaining of sounds, chains rattling, boot heels pounding, and the noise of something like a body being dragged across the floor. The bricklayer had seen his wife violently shaken by the shoulders, although no one else was there. And the devotees told Prabhupada, he said, "You tell John Lennon that if he wants, we can get rid of these ghosts." Mukunda relayed the message, but John had already invited his friend, a white witch, to come and exorcise the ghost. The warlock visited the bricklayer's cottage, and a few devotees tagged along. Over the fireplace in the main room, they found a carving of a person with a ghost coming out of his forehead, and on the opposite wall, mahogany runes. These are ancient witch runes. The warlock said, shaking his head, "I can't do anything here." When John asked the devotees to try their method, Prabhupada directed them. At the bricklayer's cottage, they should sprinkle water offered to Krishna in the doorways, blow conch shells, and then have kirtan. A group of devotees went, and Kulashekar led the kirtan. After half an hour of chanting, Kulashekara felt a great release of pressure within the room, and the kirtan became ecstatic. The devotees returned to their engagements, assuring John that the ghost would not return, and the bricklayer and his wife moved in again. The next morning, Prabhupada passed the old cottage on his walk. "So, how is the ghost?" he asked. "No news, Prabhupada," Kulashekar replied. The following morning, Prabhupada again asked, "How is the ghost? Would they like to have him back?" Years ago in India, Prabhupada said when he was running his chemical business, he had detected ghosts in the building at night. "What did you do?" one of the devotees asked. "I simply chanted Hare Krishna, and the ghosts would go away." Prabhupada then opened his eyes wide and gestured with both hands, mimicking the frightened workers in the plant who had come running to him. "Babuji, Babuji, there is a ghost, there is ghost." The devotees laughed. Actually, Prabhupada said, there are many ghosts here, especially over by the stable areas. They are attached to this place, but they will not harm you if you just chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Yes, fine. We'll come back from the ghost katha. So here, that's how where Krishna is there, there cannot be Maya. So that's what he says. So here it is told the invulnerable sins cannot stay when there is a great devotee of the Lord. So that way, when one sees only the great devotee of the Lord, one gets purified of all sins. Prabhuji was yesterday singing Jahara nikate gele Papa dure ja. Just coming near to a pure devotee, all the papa sins are driven away. Gangara parasha hole paschate pava darshane pavitra karo e tomara guna. So by taking bath in Ganga, the one gets purified of sins. But just by taking darshan of pure devotee, one gets purified of all the sins. But tendency to commit sin will be there. So one has to what one has to do? One has to sit at the feet of a pure devotee and hear submissively and follow his instructions. So when one does that, then the tendency to commit sin, paap karne ki pravritti, that also goes away. So that's very important to follow the instructions given by pure devotees. It is told the pure devotee's mouth emanates saffron dust particles. So when it falls on our head, then we are purified. So like that, we have to take it like a life and soul, what the instructions of a pure devotee. And when we follow them, then actually our innate tendency to commit sin also goes away. And what is the root of the sin? It is the deliberate disobedience to Krishna. So when we don't want to obey Krishna, that is actually sin. So we'll just little bit discuss about this. What is sin? We may say in scriptures also they say what are the four pillars of sinful activities? Yeah, striya, pana, dyuta, suna. So that is illicit sex, Pana means intoxication. Dyuta means gambling. Suna means meat eating. So violence. So that can be externally seen also, or it can be more deeply seen. Prabhupada gives more both understandings. Externally, grossly, okay, illicit sex is something, but in a subtle sense, even to think of a woman, even to in a wrong way and all that, that is also illicit sex. And Suna means what is it? Intoxication, pana. So that also intoxication externally, grossly, it is like drinking alcohol or whatever those things, drugs and all. Even devotees who were very much addicted to the heavier drugs, they also have come back even grossly, but in a subtle sense, pride. So pride is also intoxication. I am this. I'm an engineer. I can give such a nice Bhagavatam class. I can speak like this, and like that. So many things we may think and become proud. So that is also intoxication. And Pana Dyuta, gambling. So gambling we know in the casinos they play, but even in a sense that telling a lie unnecessarily, correct? No, in the sense, or that is also gambling or cheating, duplicity behavior, hypocrisy, doing one thing and inside another thing. So that is also gambling. And meat eating, violence. That is, we may say, oh, killing animal and eating. We are not doing anyway. And but in a subtle sense, even to speak abusive words or even to hurt someone, we may speak in an indirect way. Correct? No. So what they call sarcastic way, sarcasm. So all those things also come under violence. Prabhupada says even more heavy statement. If you are not preaching, you are committing violence. So that is even heavier. So because yes, we know everybody is suffering in this world, and we have got the solution. Why we are suffering, and we know it, and we can give it to others. If we are not going and giving out, then it is violence. So that's a very simple logic. Prabhupada says. Yes. So someone may say, yes, let us be just be pious. Correct, no? What is the need of becoming a devotee? Once one Maharaj was telling that I saw recently in a park there was a couple or parents playing with the children, swinging. The child is sitting on the swing and he's swinging. So nice to see, and they are so pious and things like that. But he was telling that that is also sin. If there is no Krishna element in it. So if there is no Krishna, that means sin, because we want to independently enjoy without Krishna, then that is also becomes a sin. So even coming to Krishna consciousness, even before coming, we may not be eating meat, we may not be drinking wine, and etc. etc. So it's not that coming to Krishna consciousness is just becoming a pious Hindu. No. Okay, let me just follow four relative principles. Okay, let me chant. Oh, it is very nice mantra. So, of course, chanting is very important, but at the same time, the complete transformation of consciousness is required. So that is basically whatever Krishna says, I will do it, and that is dharma. Right? Now, Bhagavatam says, "Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam." So whatever Krishna says, that is dharma. So if we go against it, then it becomes adharma. There are many examples in scriptures also. And yeah, Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur tells even more heavily that piety and impiety, it is like a wet stool and dry stool. So wet stool is like papa. That is, as soon as you see, it will be so nicely, so badly smelling. You will vomit only. Correct, no? But wet, dry stool, not so much. Correct, no? It's okay. It's not so much smelling and all, but still both are stool contaminating. If you touch it, you have to take bath. So that way, dry stool, wet stool, he says. And in scriptures, there are many examples like Arjuna, Yudhishthir, correct, no? So how they followed the instructions of Krishna. So Yudhishthir was told by Krishna to tell a lie. So what was that? Ashwatthama hata. So Ashwatthama died. So you tell that loudly in the battlefield. And that time he didn't tell, and later his chariot went down. Correct, no? There, the people usually say Yudhishthir's chariot went down because he told a lie that Ashwatthama died. But actually, in Krishna conscious perspective, if you see why his chariot went down, he hesitated to speak a lie for Krishna. Krishna told you tell this, and then he didn't tell. So that's why his chariot went down. So that became a sin for him. So that is a Krishna conscious perspective. Everything we need to understand from Krishna conscious perspective, not the in the material way, in the pious, materialistic way that people think. So that way, that he followed the obeyed the orders of Krishna. And Arjuna, how he followed, not just telling some lie or something. He killed people on the order of Krishna. So Krishna told you kill on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So he killed all of them just like that because it was the instruction of Krishna. So dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. So that became the dharma. So devotee is ready on the order of Krishna even to tell a lie, even to kill. Correct, no? Because it is order of Krishna. So that becomes dharma. So yes, it may be little bewildering, correct? But that is what it is. Even sometimes the preachers go different countries to preach, and if they say, I have come here to preach Bhagavad Gita, and from there only they will show this the flight you came from, okay, you board and you go back. Correct, no? So they may say, I have come here as a tourist, correct, as a visiting. That's why they have that visa, some visa, I don't know what they call, visiting visa, and they take and they go and then they preach on for 1 month or so, and then come back. So that means they're telling lie, correct, no? They're not going for a tourist to visit some nice places there, some nice snow is there, etc., etc. They're going there to preach Krishna consciousness, but they're telling the lie so that the higher principle is followed, that is to give them Krishna. So that becomes dharma in that point of time. Yes. Just read purport. So he says that the demons are always busy trying to vanquish the personality of Godhead, but factually, as soon as the personality of Godhead appears, by either his transcendental name, form, attributes, pastimes, paraphernalia, or variegatedness, the demon is at once vanquished. So Kamsa also, even before Krishna taking birth, he was planning to kill Krishna. So many plans he was making, but there was a I mean, Akashvani, that eighth son will kill Krishna, and demigods were thinking, oh, 8 sons, so much time it will take. So they accelerated the process, and then finally Krishna came and killed Kamsa. So, and later it is told that here the paraphernalia, who is the paraphernalia in the purport? The great saints and devotees of the Lord are in the list of his paraphernalia. And thus, as soon as saintly devotee is present, the ghostly sins are at once vanquished. So even Lord Shiva, he says, Aradhananam sarvesham Vishnoraradhanam param Tasmat parataram devim tadiyanam samarchanam. He says, amongst all the worships, what is the topmost worship? Worship of Lord Vishnu. And he says, Tasmat Parataram Devim. Even greater than worship of Lord Vishnu is Tadiyanam, the worship of his paraphernalia. So that is none other than his devotees. The devotees of the Lord, when you worship the devotees of the Lord, that is even greater than worship of Supreme Lord Vishnu. Like, it may appear like paradox, like how is it? Contrary things are told. He's Supreme Lord and somebody is supreme than Supreme Lord also. Yes. That is how Krishna is happy when one worships a pure devotee of Lord Vishnu or Krishna. And one gets purified of one's sins just by coming in contact with a pure devotee. There are many, many verses that speaks about it in Srimad Bhagavatam. One of such verses is किराटहूणान्द्रपुलिन्दपुल्कष आभीरशुम्भायवनाकसादयः ये अन्ये च पापा यदपाश्रयाश्रयाः शुध्यन्ति तस्मै प्रभविष्णवे नमः. Says Kiratas, Hunas, Andhras, Pulindas, Pulkashas. We have not even heard. These are like, we only heard Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. There are 10th classes after that also. Yavanas, Malechas, and so many things come after that. So all these people can be purified. How? Yane cha papa yad apashraya ashraya. By taking shelter of the person who has taken shelter of Lord Vishnu, Prabhu Vishnave Namaha, or Supreme Lord Krishna. So one who has taken shelter of Krishna, the pure devotee of Lord Krishna. So when we or anyone in that category, even we all come under same category, correct? No? Doing all kinds of sinful activities. So when we take shelter of such a pure devotee, then we also what get purified. So that way. Yes. And the holy name of the Lord is another way. Correct. Prabhupada says, by taking the holy name, the ghosts are gone. Like that, the many verses we glorifies the holy name. There is one Simmatrastair Mrugariva. Means all the sins are like different birds. They're sitting on the here and there, some here. So we also have all the sins, correct? No? Sinful reactions, etc. But when a lion roars loudly, then what happens? All the birds will fly away. Like that, all the sinful reactions, sins that one is committed will go away just by chanting the holy name of the Lord. Yan namapi avesh. One verse is there which says basically the Papa, one cannot commit sinful reactions so much that a holy name cannot purify. Correct? No? So that is the glory of the holy name. So by chanting the holy names and taking guidance of the pure devotees of Lord Krishna, one can be purified and then go back home, back to got it. So even Prabhupada, in those times we can see, when Prabhupada went to West, actually even the last time when I took class here, I think I don't know which verse there, he says that just by chanting the holy name, all the influence of the Kali, that is driven away. So Prabhupada, when he went to the West, that is the time, actually Third World War was about to take place. I don't devotee or outside person. He was there in that position, and he got an order that put a missile on America. He was in Russian army, I think, and that's the time somehow he was didn't do. He hesitated to do. After that, again orders came that stop it. So basically, it didn't happen. So he later gets to know the time and date when Prabhupada arrived in Boston Harbor, and that was the same date that Prabhupada arrived, and that's why it didn't happen. That's what he says. That is his interpretation. But of course, it is Bhagavatam's interpretation also, because all the influence of the age of Kali will be, all the contaminations will be vanquished just by the Harinam Sankirtan. So pure devotee of the Lord is always doing Harinam Sankirtan. So wherever he is. So because Prabhupada went to the West, so it didn't happen. So that is the power of the pure devotee of the Lord. So and when he went to the West, so many people, all one that time Nityanand Prabhu delivered one Jagai and Madai. And then when Prabhupada went, he says that by the mercy of Lord Nityananda Prabhu, the devotees that come in the line of Nityananda Prabhu, they can deliver hundreds of Jagais and Madais. That is none other than Prabhupada only. In a humble way, in purport, Prabhupada writes that the descendants of Nityananda Prabhu, by the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, can deliver hundreds of Jagais Madais. So Prabhupada delivered hundreds of Jagais and Madais. So many sinful reactions, sinful activities they were doing, but we were doing, and how we were saved, correct, by Prabhupada's mercy. Coming in contact with the pure devotee of Lord Krishna. So that way, the invulnerable sins of a man, the greatest Maha Papa, all of them are immediately vanquished in presence of Saint, O great mystics, in your presence. He is telling to Shukdev Goswami. So that way, the greatest of the sins, one might not even imagine, such sins can be purified. Yes. I think we'll pause it here. It's 8:21. So if devotees have any questions, comments, yes, Prabhu. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yes, yes. They're all connected. They're all different degrees. It's like actually mantra also. If it is coming in down in parampara, then only it is effective. You cannot just take some mantra and chant on your own and then get the result. That is not possible. In that verse is there. What is that verse? Nishphala mataha. So mantra will not have any phala, fruit, if you are chanting it without coming in parampara. So parampara means again you need a pure devotee, acharya, correct? No. So in his line, when we take mantra from him and chant, then it will actually bear the results of chanting. So it is all connected. Even His Holiness Bhakti Rasam Swami Maharaj, I heard one lecture. He was telling who liberates, who delivers. So that lecture he says that there are different aspects. Holy name is there, association of a pure devotee is there, association of devotees, there is bhagavatam, there is the dham, there is so many things, correct? No, all these things are there, but it can be different degrees for different devotees, but all are acting by all these things coming together actually helps one deliver. So it's not that one thing will only deliver a person. So all these things together, it may be for someone it's a holy name is more, the degree of holy name is more for him. He's more, taking shelter of holy name more, but that doesn't mean he doesn't take shelter of devotee. He doesn't take shelter of Bhagavatam. That is also there, but the degree may be different for different devotees. That yes, yes. Mm. Mm. Yes. Yeah, it is all Krishna's plan. But if you see, effect is more now in India than in the West. Correct, no? So whatever Prabhupada desired, being in India, all that has happened. He was once there in Mumbai, like Bharati Vidya Bhavan, and he just saw just opposite to that there was very nice place. Here there should be ISKCON temple, and then there was now it is ISKCON Chowpatty. So whatever he desired to preach in India, everything has happened. So it is now bubbling with devotees. Nowadays, you go anywhere, you see somebody in Kantimala, somebody with tilak, they'll keep smiling and they'll tell Hare Krishna. And then you go any metro, you go some other dham, everywhere is devotees only are there. So it is all happening because Prabhupada was there and he desired, and it is happening. Only at that time it didn't happen, as you said. It was just a plan of Krishna for Prabhupada to go to West and to preach there and then make devotees there. So spread this far and wide in every nook and corner of the world. So that is there. But yeah, that is there. Whatever Prabhupada went, that became a holy place. Holy place means it may not be yes, everybody is immediately becomes a pure devotee, but as soon as he goes, that becomes a holy place. You may not externally see the result also sometimes, but it becomes a holy place because the That's actually Prabhupada also, when he was there, wherever he went, he preached and they started chanting also. It's not that it didn't happen. They were doing it and they were got purified. But it was all Krishna's plan. Send him abroad, come back, and then again happen. But now we can see the result in India. It's happening. Yes. Okay. Right. Maybe Prabhuji can answer better. Can we? Devil's advocate. Yes, Prabhuji. Hmm.
When they become to be not, for example, if we were in and sometimes we see people who are less fire, we might think that they may not become the that depending on the
Hmm.
what should be actually proper attitude that how should we properly utilize or get mindset in the world? How can we do that in the world that we are doing our best in our life? What should we do? So we have constantly, even if we put a lot of effort at things and we say, there is not enough.
Hmm.
So we might try to see the same temperature and not. Maybe not should I put stagnant or something?
Hmm.
What should be done?
Yeah. Actually, when we are preaching, we are actually assisting in the preaching that the Acharya is doing. So Prabhupada writes in sixth canto in one of the purports that when devotees are preaching, they should not be worried about victory or defeat. So they should, with a equipoised mind, they should continue their duty. Their efforts are to please the spiritual master. So the whether we get victory, we get results. Oh, so many of them are becoming devotees. They're chanting 16 rounds and things like that. Of course, we have a desire that more and more people can come more and more closer to Krishna. So that is very good because that will please the spiritual master. So sometimes what happens, we put efforts and there is no results and then we stop it because there are no results. That means our motive was wrong motive, not to please the spiritual master or an acharya. So our motive is to please them, then we go on. We take their guidance, of course, what to do now. It is happening like this. Jai Shri Radha Madhav ki, Jagannath Baldev Subhadra ki, Gaur Nitai, Srila Prabhupada ki. Jai. So while we are doing, we see what is happening and we are accountable to them and then we take guidance from them what to do. If they say yes, still you continue the same, then it will please them if you do it, then we have to do it. So, or we may suggest, so if you do like this, then it will be better. Then they also may agree, yes, that is true. Then we have to do that. Then we may strategize things and change and again we do the needful. So, but in our efforts, basically it should not reduce based on the results. So it should not be fruitive. The motive should be to please the Acharya, to please the spiritual master, to please those who have given us the service. So that is more important. And then yeah, when we see the most fallen people, they are drinking, they're not taking bath, they're etc. etc. And Prabhupada also was in the same situation. So when he went, he just gave them Krishna in whatever level they can take. He made them chant. That time they were so much fond of music, all those hippies. So just Prabhupada sat and he just chanted. He gave them holy name through that music. He just chanted, chanted, and they got attracted to holy name. And they also chanted and got purified. So whatever way they can take, we can introduce them to Krishna. They may not come to level of chanting 16 rounds or anything as such, but whatever level they are in, okay, they are not ready to chant at all. We give them prasad. So when you give them prasad, they get purified. So that way, our motive should not be yes, he become devotee and then he come here inside, and then only he is a devotee. So if he just takes prasad also, he accepts the holy name, he chants once also Hare Krishna, he is a devotee on his own level. That way we should see and we should give Krishna as much as possible to whomever we meet. Even beggars come, we give prasad and we tell them to tell Hare Krishna. And they tell Hare Krishna. Many times beggars don't even receive prasad. So you give prasad, they'll just throw away. And one day, when I was going with Krishna Prabhu, he gave cookie. That was Mahaprasad from Hyderabad, Madan Mohan temple. And then he took and arey, what is this? He again kept it back on the window. Window was closed, shield. There was the little space. He kept it in a way it will not fall also. He kept it so that we can see also that he didn't take. So that way beggars also, when they are not ready to take Krishna, what we can do. So we have to give Krishna to whomever is possible, to whatever level they are in. So in that way, if somebody accepts prasad, also he is a devotee of Krishna. He has that piety to accept prasad, Jagannath's prasad. So we should appreciate that, and by that appreciation, slowly, slowly they grow, and they come to the highest level of becoming pure devotee of Krishna. Also. Hare Krishna. It's already 8:30. Yes, bro. Last question.
You're doing a lot of such things. So, certain aspect comes out from that is verified. So, I'm not understand why that is that.
It's nothing but the advice, the instructions that we get. When we get the instructions, when we take it to our heart and we follow them as it is, then we grow basically. So when that's what it means. It's not something very esoteric. Some saffron dust particles are coming, they're invisible. Oh, what is that? They're coming and then they're falling on me. They're magically I'm getting shocked and I'm getting purified or something like that. So it is we even the Uchishta, or when we take, we are singing the song Vaishnavera Uchishta, Tahe Mora Mananishta, Vaishnavera Namete Ullas. So it says that my mind is hankering for Uchishta, that is the remnants left over by the pure devotee of the Lord. What is the meaning there also? Not basically once is only I think I don't want to say the name. One Maharaj was there. He also he doesn't like distributing like that Mahama. Some devotee was coming and distributing. Bro, this Mahama of this Maharaj, take. And then I think Maharaj got to know. And then in one class he was telling that not that you're simply like in a frivolous way you're taking some Mahama and then just like that it will not purify. But taking Mahamaha means you're ready to slay your head. You're ready to die to follow the instruction that he has given. Then you can take Mahama. That's what he said. So that's the mood, following the instruction. When we do that, then we get purified. Not that just by some external act. Yeah, of course, that is also there. Just materially taking the dust of the feet of a Vaishnava, just taking we cannot reduce that importance also. That is also there. But at the same time, more important is following the instructions. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Shrimad Bhagavatam Puran ki jai.